everyone, welcome along. Steel Horse here, and we are with Gilles on the valley, the old farm. And you might recall from last time that he took a sizable silage baling contract right at the end of the episode, because we didn't do any contracts last time. And so whilst he's not concerned about the work, he is concerned about how long it might take, so he's tried to get out as early as light is going to make sensible. The guys told him that the equipment will be parked by the side of the field, so it's just down past the mill where we delivered the harvest we did a couple of months back. Finish compacting the little bit of grass that he put in that silage pit that he constructed next to the manure pit and the cow barn. So we'll check in with where that's up to a bit later on. So that's the mill just in there where we dropped off the grain that we harvested, and just on the other side of these houses here is the field that we need to mow. Okay, now there's that trailer, and they have been good to their word. They've dropped stuff in. Where are we going to put our scooter here? We might pop it over the other side behind the trailer. Should be pretty safe in this stretch of road. We'll just sort of pop it in the edge of the hedge here. Some nice big equipment to do this contract, which should help get it sorted in no time at all. So if we fold the front, pop him down, we can turn him on, scoop that out there. Now we can get the back sorted. Turn you on as well. And let's see how this all works out. Just head up the hill here. Not sure how far past the top of the hill this field goes, so we'll explore as we go. Leaving a swath particularly handy with these mowers, so we can just bale straight away off the back of the mowing. We won't need to windrow. You can see over there in the distance is where our bakery is. His mum's still not heading in there, so it might still be a little while before we get anything made in the bakery. That said, he did spend a couple of hours having a look at the mill, and he's pretty confident he sort of cleared out a bit of the undergrowth, got in there with a compressor and some grease and sort of blew out a bunch of muck and things that he found. Seems to be looking pretty good, so feeling pretty confident he could fire that up and make a little bit of flour just to see how we go. Not that we've got a heap of grain in that contract, but enough to get us started. And that then means possibly sometime in the new year we might be able to get a couple of loads down to the bakery and maybe at least make some bread. He's pretty comfortable the recipe that his dad used to use will attract favour with the locals, and maybe just the fact that he's doing that might encourage his mum to sort of think about donuts not too far into the future. We'll have to see. He did notice that we're getting some apples off the trees, and he did a little bit of figuring. What the trees cost about 1,500 piece to put in, and they make, each tree makes 288 litres of apples a month, and 1,000 litres of apples sells for about $600. So if you put all of that together, about every 4 months a tree generates 600 bucks. So, and here comes some rain. Given we're making silage, we won't worry too much about the rain. It does get a little bit wet, but I don't think it's going to rain for too long with any luck. But yeah, about 600 bucks every 4 months. So basically every 10 months we can afford another tree, or alternatively the tree we put in pays for itself in 10 months. So the last 2 months of that first year then become profit. And so when he did his figuring, he was trying to work out how many trees he'd have to run to make a significant dent in this target of $40,000 a month income. Sort of by the beginning of year 4. And the answer is, well, a field of say 50 trees would be about $10,000 a month, and now that would be a lot of pallets of apples, of course, but that would be possible to get in place by that period of time. So what he's thinking is, not sure he necessarily wants 50 trees, but if we've got a few dollars that we could set aside, maybe we put in a couple of trees sort of every month when we can afford it, just for a little while, and that just preserves the option and gives us a few more to sell. And it might just be a nice little sort of steady income on the side. And there's he's identified a couple of spots around the field that we've got where you could put some of the trees in without getting in the way of anything else that he wants to do. So that's a promising step. The other thing that he was looking at is can he in fact increase the number of cows that we've got, now that we've got some silage happening in the pit, and with any luck we'll have some bales left over after this contract, and possibly then we could get some better mix feed for the cows, but also maybe we could afford a couple more cows. So there's a few just little incremental plans building on the start we've already got. So we'll look at those once we sort of get through the backside of this contract. Now it's still a little bit damp. With any luck, the rain should ease shortly. It's kind of sunny, so it's a bit of a sun shower more so than anything, but just enough to be annoying. There we go. Yeah, that's the line we want. But so far the job's going pretty well, and the sun continues to sort of peek through, so it gives him confidence we might have a dry rest of the day. And certainly this case has plenty of horsepower for this job. It doesn't feel like we're struggling at all. Just a couple more trips up and down the field and we'll be ready to get baling. It doesn't really want to be baling in the rain, so hoping that the rain's going to stop before we get to that point. Still raining, coming up to 10:45. We've only got one stripe left to do, so making fair progress through this. And might be an opportunity to take a break and make some phone calls while he waits for the rain to stop. Doesn't want to be necessarily bailing in the rain, I think. It does look like it's clearing, it's just slow. There's a fair amount of grass on the field, so should make quite a handy amount of bales for Gilles here. Yeah, it looks like it's clearing. We'll just pop the mower under the tree there. Should be able to get a spot in amongst the bushes. Maybe, oh no, that'll do. Well, the fence is actually closer than I thought. We'll go over the other side next to where we parked the scooter, might be best. Oh, and with that, the rain stops. Just make sure we don't knock the scooter over. It's just sitting down there. Okay. Now, if you haven't played this map before and you're wondering what those boxes are next to the fence, it's a neat little feature which we won't take advantage of in this field, but we can have a quick look. So there's a button on there which allows you to remove the fence, and it's as simple as clicking the button and all the fences around the field are gone, and we can click it again and it'll turn it back on. So neat little feature. Now let's just see what we're making here. We want to unfold the baler. It'll work much better if we connect to it. There we go. The bale size is correct, so let's just unfold you. We want to be doing 220 bales because we can't wrap the 240s. Let's try again. Put the pickup down and turn you on. And around we go. just looking up at the shape of the land here, that hill looks a little on the steep side, so we might just run back across the headland here and try and use the more gradual upslope for our uphills, and then loop round and come down the steep section. I think might be a good strategy. Jill prides himself on trying to plan ahead. It's not always successful. Let's see how that goes. And here we go. Looks much steeper from this end, but certainly I think we'd travel much faster down the hill than we would trying to bail up it. Now it's looking like these bales are about 6,000 a piece. We're not quite full speed at this section of the hill, so that steeper section will definitely be slower. Let's just have a quick look at the contract. And so we need to deliver almost 180,000, so almost 30 bales. Which is not too bad, I guess. The real question is, how many are we making? It looks like we're making about 2 every strip, so far we've done 8, so there's comfortably 30, probably getting up into the mid 40s be my estimate of bales on this field. We'll just keep charging along and see where he finishes up. That was interesting. We're about 24 bales done, and by Gilles' estimation about half the field, maybe just over. So certainly mid 40s he's thinking in terms of bale count. But he just got off the phone with his friend that works at the dealership, and she suggested that he have a look at the contract board. There's a couple of contracts that he might be interested in, could keep him busy through the middle of winter. So I'll just flick over there and have a look at that. Yeah, where are we here? So there's plenty of baling around at the moment, but that'll all stop this month because you can't cut the grass in December. And some smaller cultivating, some harvesting. Oh, this must be what she was talking about. A ploughing contract with a big tractor on field 1. If we have a look at the map, it's not far from us, which makes it convenient. Field 1's this big field over here. But the advantage of a ploughing contract now is we could potentially take, the next 3 months to do it. So maybe we should just accept that and just borrow the equipment and just put it in our back pocket at 15,000. It's a handy little earner through winter while we get few other things under control. So And particularly when once we get into that period, there might not be many contracts around. So I'll just put that in the back pocket. Something that we wouldn't be able to do without getting offered it. So now though, let's keep powering away. And it looks like there's one more run down the really steep part of the hill. No, we didn't drive real straight down that one there either by the looks. One thing he's finding, this pickup on this crone mower is a bit narrower than the windrow he's got here. So if he's not exactly on line, he leaves a little bit of grass in the field, which can be a little bit annoying. But nonetheless, we're getting plenty of bales, so not too much of a problem. Just going 230, and we've got about 40 bales on the field and another 2 rows and some odd bits to grab, so looking like we're on track for 45, and it's just a question of how long it'll take us to wrap them and move them. That's the last full row. We might just pick up a couple of the scraps here at the top and see how close we can get to finishing this bale. There's probably enough loose material on the field to face it, and as Gilles inclined, given that there's every chance that this is one for us. But that said, he doesn't want to use too much of his precious daylight just chasing a bale, so here we go on the way down. These little bits that are scattered around that are left don't have a lot of grass in them, and we do have 46 bales at this point, so it looks like there's a little bit more over just near the edge here. We'll see. We can find half a bale. It looks like a largish sort of pile in front of us here. %, required. Come on. There you go. You can do much better if you actually drive up the road, Gilles. But I think it might be diminishing returns here. As the sun starts to sink. So that's 70. It's getting harder to tell the difference between the skerricks of windrows and the shadows from the bales. 75%. And I think that's all she wrote. Never mind. Let's get this the wrapping operation underway. Empty out the last couple. Fold you up. Drop you off. $3:30, it's going to be a race. But at least we've got the bulk of the job done. Even if we have to pop back in the morning. Yeah, let's see. Unfold the wrapper. Turn on the auto drop. So with 14 bales per load on the trailer, there's 3.5 loads. And we know we need at least 2 to finish the contract. So it's just a question of how long it's going to take us to wrap all these bales now. While he's been baling, Jules decided that he would like to put a couple of apple trees in the ground, just given the way the math works. Makes sense, and if you can get them in today, then time can pass and we can get them sorted and producing. So with darkness not far away, what he's thinking is there's 3 down there, there's 6, 9. So if we wrap another 6 or 7, that'll be a full trailer load, which we can take back down to the dealership, and then we can come up here next time and just finish the wrapping and the delivery, which shouldn't take us too long. And it's better than trying to find bales in the dark, which tends to be quite a frustrating experience. He remembers from his youth. We'll just do these ones here near the trailer, and that'll be the wrapping for today. Pick up a load and head across to the animal dealer before they close. That way we'll also get a read on exactly how many a full trailer delivers for us. And that's a full trailer load. Let's just pop over to the animal dealer. Just down the hill round the corner. Next on the left, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. And where do they want those? Right there, I guess. Pop them up. And 14 bales gave us just a whisker under 50%, so 49% delivered. And one of the advantages of the animal dealer, it's not far from home. This is our field right in front of us. Now we won't drive on the crop that we've planted, but the grass section there, our own grass needs a bit of a cut. But the what he wanted to do, the area that he was looking at for planting his own trees was just here. And so that's the last thing we'll do today, is just take the tree and just pop it onto the edge, something like so, and another one about there, and progressively we'll just put a couple in. But for now, that's where we might leave it. The contract's at 59%. We've got just the rest of the bales to wrap, and then we'll finish that one up next time. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. See ya.